That was Lightning Hopkins' version of Baby Please Don't Go. I'm Jim Bruce, and this is the second in a series of 5 videos in which we look at the picking styles of 5 great bluesmen. That was a tune that Lightning Hopkins used in the key of E, and it's a key that Hopkins favoured, although he could play in many keys, of course. He was a master bluesman. But the key of E gave him the facility to use that low bass E to great advantage to create a very bluesy Texas feel. In addition, Lightning would often tune down his guitar 1 or 2 steps because he had a low voice, and it also made the guitar easy to handle as far as bending the strings around was concerned. He used a plastic thumb pick of this style, which meant that he could really hit the strings and let it ring. And also he would use this thumb pick to great advantage all across the fretboard, all along the board. He could play it down here to make it a hard, sharp sound, or he could play it up the fretboard to make it sweet. Often he would play one single beat, but he would double this beat and he would turn it into what he called a heartbeat. This was a very powerful technique because the heartbeat speaks directly to the emotions, and it has a profound effect on somebody that listens to the music. I'm not going to use a thumb pick today because I find that it unbalances my fingers if I use a thumb pick and no finger pick. I like to use either finger picks on both thumb and finger, or just bare fingers and thumb. But I believe that Hopkins played with a plastic thumb pick and a bare finger. He also played with just one finger, and it was very nimble, of course, and it moved around. Lightning Hopkins used many techniques, but he was really proficient in making a syncopated beat with his thumb, also creating that very special feeling. Which is exactly what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be the most slickest guitarist or the fastest or the one with the greatest technique. We're trying to provide that old authentic feeling so you can close your eyes and you're actually there in the blues. It's part of you, and you show people that part of this wonderful style of music. In this particular song we use the E chord, we use an A7 chord and a B7 chord. Now the B7 chord may be played in 2 variations depending on which bass note we hold down. In the first one we're going to hold down the A string on the 2nd fret, but we may push that finger over onto the bass E 2nd fret. It gives a little bit more flexibility. And now let's take a look in some detail how Lightning Hopkins might have played one of the verses to this kind of song. First of all, you'll see my right hand in close-up, and I'll show the tablature below in this way. And after this, if you need it, you can watch my left hand as I show the tablature again, and the chord will appear in the corner of the screen as well. Let's go. And sometime between the verses, Hopkins might just mark time for a little while, sometimes to give effect, or maybe to think about some other words to sing. He'd do something like this. He'd strum, half pick, half strum, and he'd sort of move up and down the fretboard to give it a nice rhythmic effect, and also to change the tone of the guitar. In close-up it looks like this. At some point in the song he might introduce a kind of a simple instrumental break. It's simple in form, but in fact the syncopation between thumb and finger makes it very attractive. It sounds a little like this. Let's take a look at that again in slow motion on my right hand and then later on my second hand. If you don't really need to look at the second hand, my left hand, if you're well enough advanced, then by all means just look at the right hand and fast forward through the rest of the video for the left hand. I hope that's given you some insight into the playing of Lightnin' Hopkins, a truly great Texas bluesman. Of course his repertoire was huge, and there were many songs in many keys, but it's often his playing in E that really makes that tingle go down your spine. Take it easy, keep it real. I'll see you next time.